Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 13 of the Mitch Alex Show.
13 is an unlucky number, Box.
Is it?
It is.
Well, you know what? We've got a good show planned, and for one of the first times ever, we've actually planned our show after last week's absolute shitfest.
Was it a shitfest though?
Look, we were running out of content. Cameron Keep says first. How are you, Cameron Keep?
Hello, Cameron.
First of all, we are the Mitch and Alex Show, sponsored by Bulldog Glass and Property Maintenance, and only Bulldog Glass and Property Maintenance. He's Mitch. I'm Alex. I didn't have a stick already.
Oh, yeah.
Are we? We are. We've got a great show planned. We've got some questions in from the fans. Now, I know we like to usually answer the questions in the chat. But
We'll do that as well.
We'll do that as well.
So post your questions.
We've got some questions ready and prepared. And do you want to dive straight into that, or do you want to ease into it?
Let's ease into it. What's been going on in your life, Box?
Not much. I've just moved houses, so
How has that been? I haven't asked you about that. I've been very rude.
Really stressful, but lucky we had Jeremy Kopp help me move. What a legend.
A fellow trainee at the restaurant. These people don't know who Jeremy Kopp is.
No, they don't. DMWC Film says, "Hey yo," as always. Let's chuck that up there.
Hey yo.
I only found out recently what DMWC stands for, and it's Drunk Monkeys with Chainsaws.
I don't think I'd want drunk monkeys with chainsaws filming things.
Yeah, neither do I.
It seems like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, but shout out to cameraman Shay. Yeah, not much has been going on. It's just been a little bit stressful. We had to carry my very heavy piano. By we, I mean Jeremy Kopp and my brother. But
well, you bitched out of it
a little bit. Well, I went to pick it up to give them a break, and I was like, "Oh, there goes my back."
We need to get you doing more ring crews so you're big and strong.
Yeah, maybe. Mr. Hardy Productions says, "I hope that sexy dancing Dave comes on." You're not spelling dancing right, Chief. There's no E in there.
It's dancing without a G. Did you put the G in?
No, he didn't put the G
in.
DMWC Film says, "In." I don't know what that means, but hold on. Don't judge me. I thought of the name in year 6. Lol.
Oh,
that explains it. What's been going on in your life, special man?
Well, I've been trying to sell shows for 2024. It's the same thing every week, Box.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like a lot of people don't realize the work that you put in with you and your laptop. It gets a good run, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. So I go through, like, I need a new one every 2-3 years.
Wow, because that one looks about 20 years old.
No.
That
That one was Mia's, and my one went broken because I don't know if I've ever told this story, but at the Summer Spectacular, Wes Williams, his entrance was playing. It was like match 2. And
was this the COVID show?
No.
Summer
Spectacular this year.
Oh,
yeah. So his music is playing, and it vibrates off the table, my laptop, which is only like a year old, and falls on the ground. And the music cuts out, and then I'm like, oh, open it up, hit Wes music again, but it broke the computer.
Wow.
So it lasted for like another 6 weeks.
Wes is that cool that his music broke the computer?
Yeah, he's got beats.
Yeah, wow.
So I had to replace the computer with an old computer from Mia.
Fair enough.
Why buy your own box?
Yeah.
I got wrestlers to pay.
Shay Costello says, "Hi guys, how are you? We're feeling good. I don't know. I feel like I've got a pep in my step today.
A pep in your step.
A pep in my step.
Well, I'm feeling better than last week. No more.
You recovered. Your eyes aren't looking like you're peeling them open.
That's right. Yeah. But I did get sunburned on the weekend, so it doesn't end.
Never ends with you.
Nah.
Cameraman Shay says, "Out of curiosity, what gear do you guys use to live stream?" Literally just my like 6-year-old MacBook, and
the production value isn't very good.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah. Nowhere near the level of content of others, but
we're quality.
We are. I think
we don't need production.
Yeah, while our production isn't very high level, it's the content that matters. Right?
That's what the content cat would say.
Yeah. That's a great podcast you've got going.
If the content cat was here.
Hopefully he pops into it. He or she.
He or she hasn't been here for a while.
Yeah, a couple episodes, I think.
Sad.
But yeah, so my MacBook and StreamYard. And we've got a couple microphones that I borrowed from school.
You don't go to school anymore, Box.
Exactly. So should we get into the question?
You're excited, Box.
I am. We've got some doozies.
Some doozies. Are you going to start with the softballs, or are we just going to go straight into hard questioning?
I think we should start with the softballs and build up.
It's what they do in police interrogation rooms. Yeah.
J-Law, comment.
Oh, he's not a detective. He's just a beat policeman.
Fair enough. All right. So this first one. Now, these are all anonymous. So normally we like to read out the names of the people that ask the questions in the chat.
It's the NGL app.
It is the NGL app.
People know what that is.
And I feel like that's such a great thing because sometimes people want to ask questions, but they don't want people to know that they've asked the question.
Sometimes people take shots as well on NGL though.
Yeah.
Mm.
Cameron Keep's got a question real quick.
Okay.
Where can I get a shirt? So these shirts were exclusively.
We haven't even mentioned them.
No, we haven't. We're wearing our shirts again. These shirts were exclusively made by one of our sponsors, our former sponsors, Raptastic Graphics, but still got a good relationship with them.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if there was
give them a free plug box,
a free plug, Raptastic Graphics for all your car wrapping and I guess t-shirt needs. But I don't know if they're still completely operating.
Wow.
However, I am sure
the sponsorship didn't save them, eh?
If there was a high enough demand for the shirts, I'm sure we could get some made and maybe sell them at the merch table at All Star Show.
I would allow it.
Yeah.
For you, Alex Box, I would allow it.
Thank you. David Bullock says, "Afternoon, guys. Sorry, was doing washing up to start the show. That's all right, David Bullock.
This is the start.
This is the
You
start.
haven't missed much.
You've only missed the first 6.5 minutes, and we haven't talked about much.
No.
So
we're gonna get into questions, though, and it's gonna be exciting.
it is because we've got some.
You telling me they're doozies. Now, I've gone in cold. You've shared a couple with me to make sure that I guess they're okay to ask or whatever.
Yeah.
But
we did say before the show, normally we like to shy away from the controversial ones, I guess. Because at the start, when we did our first few episodes, we were a little bit controversial. And
were we really, though?
I don't know about controversial, but we definitely got some heat.
I get heat when I get up in the morning from the missus.
But we kind of shied away from the controversial topics, I guess.
But today we put it all on the line, and they can still ask their questions, can't they, Box?
They can.
It's still up, so head on over to the Instagram.
The Mitch and Alex Show on
you can
Instagram.
ask. We've got the app open on Box's phone right here. We'll answer anything.
Yeah.
Within reason.
Within reason. Yeah. If I see a question that we don't like, we're not going to answer it. But I think
well, we will if it's something that could potentially hurt someone or offend someone.
Yeah, of course.
It's private business, then we won't answer it. But apart from that, I'm open. You're open. You can ask your questions in the chat as well if you don't want to be anonymous.
Yep. Let's start with this one. Millennial Man says, "I got a question. When are you giving me my belt back, Mitch Kristen?"
Oh, the Millennial Man. That's AV.
It is. Let's keep that up there.
I don't know what belt he's talking about.
Yeah, all the belts that you have are your own.
I'm trying to think if I have an AV belt.
Do you have a belt that keeps your pants up? Maybe you borrowed a belt from him.
Maybe that's the situation.
That's what it is.
AV, I don't know what belt you're talking about. Please specify.
Let's
get in the first question, Box.
So someone has asked, what was the best and worst match you have seen in the Aussie scene outside of All-Star Wrestling?
I feel like there'd be a lot of contenders for both, right?
Yeah. We watched the show over the weekend with some pretty crappy matches in there.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
The Yo Loco one?
Oh,
yeah.
That wasn't over the weekend. That was like a day ago.
Was that yesterday?
It was yesterday
morning.
No, it was
the day before yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the weekend? No, that was Monday.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Monday.
I thought you were saying we went to a show in person.
No. Yeah,
we did not.
No, we watched it via text message on YouTube.
Let's be positive and start with the best.
Yeah.
Best match.
Outside of All-Star.
There's a lot.
Should I answer this one first?
You answer if you've got one.
I can't remember the exact show, but it was an MCW show, and it was a match between Slex and Adam Brooks.
That's the one. One of those matches got them signed to Ring of Honor. Actually,
I think it was that match. It wasn't the 3 stages of Hell match. I know they wrestled that. I think it was the one before for the heavyweight title. I think Slex was champion. I'm not sure, but it was an absolute banger between Slex and Brooksy. And that was the first match of theirs that I watched. I think it was probably the first Australian match that I watched in full.
I'm really stumped. I know I'm gonna think of one later. I'm gonna be like, oh, that would have been perfect. I I've talked before about this amazing women's match, and it was before women's wrestling was equal.
Yep.
Like it's kind of like the Divas era.
Mm.
But I remember Jessie McKay, who of course was Billie Kay in WWE,
Yep.
and Madison Eagles. They worked a UWA show at a dog track in Dapto.
Wow.
Dapto Dogs. Yeah, I refed the match, so I'm biased. But they had at that time one of the greatest women's matches I'd ever seen. It wasn't a Divas style match.
Yeah.
And it put everything else on the show, not to shame, but it was a step above everything else.
I think you look at like girls like Madison Eagles and Jessie McKay and Peyton Royce, who was, I think she was Casey Cassidy back then.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like those girls really helped revolutionize women's wrestling in Australia.
Well, Madison did it across the world, really.
Yeah. I think she was PWI's #1 women's wrestler in like 2011 or something.
Yeah.
Which is really cool considering back then women's wrestling wasn't huge and it was still kind of towards the end of the Divas era.
Yeah.
And I guess she helped change the game for Australian women and probably a lot of women
around
too.
the world too, because she was with Shimmer and she was having kick-ass matches over there. So,
and I think because I think she took Jessie McKay over there with her, and that would have helped get her noticed as well.
Ryan Eagles was on that trip as well.
Yeah. The worst matches. I could probably give you a few. None off the top of my head, really. Because when I think the worst match in Aussie wrestling, I think of the infamous All-Star Tag Team match.
Well, I think the infamous singles match where two wrestlers went 20 minutes and I was throwing paper balls across the room in disgust. But that's All-Star, so I can't say those.
I don't know. Like, we've watched a lot of shows where there's been shitty matches, but I probably couldn't.
I have an answer.
Do you?
It's a recent one, so I don't know if it's the worst ever.
Yeah.
There was a EWA show, and the opening contest is always meant to be a hot match.
Yeah, banger.
It was Albie versus Vinny Vane.
Yes. That wasn't a great match at all.
And it was awful. Sorry to them if
there was also that tag match on that show between the Greasers and was it Lee Moreau and Apollo?
Wasn't that match like match of the night?
Well, I thought the hardcore match between Ryan Eagles and Otis was personally.
I don't remember the tag. I remember that opener being awful,
that tag wasn't great. I mean, the opener wasn't great.
I don't remember.
That's the thing. Like, I don't watch a lot of other Aussie wrestling, to be honest with you. Not anymore, anyway.
I have over the years. Like, the B1s I'm missing. That's not the worst.
Maybe a suplex match. Because we've seen a couple of suplex shows with some pretty stinky matches.
Yeah, but nothing's coming to mind.
Yeah, should we go with Albie versus Vinny Vane?
That's my answer. What's yours?
There was a match that I watched that was, I think it was 5-Star Flash versus Vinny Vane.
Wow, Vinny's getting buried.
Yeah, that's not a knock on Vinny necessarily. Like, I've seen a lot of good matches from him also.
I've seen Vinny have good matches as well.
But everyone has a bad day in the office, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, those are probably two of mine.
Okay.
We've got a question in the comments before we get to the next one. Ring announcer Phil says, would you rather a shit match or a 2-move squash match? Watched Aaron Jake get squashed by Brian Cage at Panthers in 1 move and felt bad for it.
I think I'd rather a good fun squash with 2 moves than a bad match.
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing worse than a bad match and you're just like, oh fuck, I want this to end.
Yeah.
That's how I felt in Narrandera when you were wrestling box.
That was good.
I'm just kidding. Kidding.
Look, no, let's not get into that. Yeah, I think I'd rather a squash match too. Oh, it's the content cat. Cool podcasts. New content. Yes.
The content cat.
That just made.
We mentioned the content cat.
We did.
And he or she appeared.
What are some dream matches you would like to see in All Star? I wonder. Okay, now I'm gonna turn this into a 2-parter.
You're gonna change the question.
I am.
Wow.
Because it's a very vague question in the sense that does it include current All-Star roster, or would it have to include anyone?
Let's go current.
Yeah.
Because you could say like Would love to see The Rock take on Stone Cold.
No, obviously, I mean, in a realistic sense, like I'd like to see Aries versus Adam Brooks, for example.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But yeah, if we go current roster, well, one of mine would be a match that we're seeing at Padstone November 18th in Jack Dullahan versus J-Law.
That's going to be a banger.
That is definitely a dream match. I'd like to see Aries versus Keegan, which we're going to see at Wrestling Go, but I'd like to see that.
They've wrestled before, though. Like, does it have to be a match that hasn't happened before? Because those two wrestled on a tour in Forbes.
Yeah, that's true.
So does it have to be Padstow, Sydney show?
Yeah. Let's go with two guys who haven't wrestled before, though,
Well,
which I guess makes
that's real tough. Like, I'd say Keegan and Jack Dullahan, but they've wrestled before. The Collecticon.
But I guess it's different eras because Jack Dullahan wasn't the beast that he is now. Or was it?
It was the start of his beast run.
Yeah, right.
Because that's his last loss, actually. It was 2022 Collecticon. He lost to Keegan for the All-Star title.
Oh, so this is pre-retirement Keegan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's genuinely been undefeated for almost 2 years.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Well, he hasn't been pinned or submitted into
yeah, he's lost, but no pin or submit.
That is tough. I'd have to go. I'd like to see.
I'm going Keegan and Jack, by the way. Padstone main event.
Yeah.
That'd be huge.
I'd like to see in I think an Iron Man match.
Okay.
A 30-minute Iron Man match
between
for the Eastern States title between Aries and Johnny Starr.
Would be interesting.
Yeah.
We have seen them wrestle before, but never in an Iron Man match.
Yeah, that does change the game. That's a very specific match, but I really would love to see an Iron Man match because Johnny Starr is a very technical wrestler, and Aries has got great cardio. So
yeah, it would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
Wonder if Johnny Starr would be interested in going 30 minutes with Aries.
Probably not. Probably not. Or actually, sorry, just quickly another one.
Yeah.
We've seen them in tag team action, but I'd love to see Aries versus Robbie Eagles in a singles match.
That'd be good.
That'd be good. Content Cat says, "I am a cat."
Okay.
But I guess that's in reference to he or she. But cats can be male or female.
That's true.
Yeah. The zoo, which we call home, says Tinker.
I've just had endorphins released all over my body.
Content Cat says, will we see the mountain lion from AWE? I love wrestlers and animals and animal wrestlers.
Who's the mountain lion?
The zoo, which we call home, says Nightmare Cat.
Oh, I don't know him.
Yeah, I think the puppeteer once wrestled the Nightmare Cat. Him.
Oh, okay.
Not a very well-known wrestler in Australia, I don't think.
Next question,
David
please.
Bullock says that match of Jack and Keegan at the con was good.
I don't remember it too well, but I'm sure it was.
Yeah. David Bullock says solid ideas for matches, gents.
Thank you so much.
Next one. What are Alex and Mitch's thoughts on the overall New South Wales wrestling?
Oh.
Save that one for later. Is that going in hot?
Save that later. That's too hot for me, Chief.
I
gotta ease myself into that.
That one's a bit of a two-part question. Okay. With Mitch and Alex's love of wrestlers, will we see an all-star behind-the-scenes documentary?
There's been talks of doing one before.
Yeah, there has been, I guess. The idea has been thrown around. Nothing is concrete.
There was one in like 2018 or 2019 where some film students did like a documentary about like All Star when it was in its Wollongong years, and they interviewed the Birdman of all people.
Wow.
I wish I had a copy of that because I don't anymore. And I believe there's gonna be something on the horizon soon in regards to our next show. I haven't told you about that yet, Box. I will when we're off screen because I don't know too much about it myself. But there's apparently going to be something happening at the next show. Okay. But I don't. There's no major big parted series awaiting us right now. But I'd love to do it. It'd be fun.
I've kind of pitched the idea to you and given you, I guess, kind of an outline of a vision of how it would go.
Yeah.
But an idea is just an idea. It takes a lot more to actually execute it.
That's right. Yeah.
There'd be a lot of resources needed and that sort of thing.
But the one that's a possibility for the November show, that's already been in the works.
Oh, okay.
So they're just gonna turn up. So fingers crossed it happens. It'd be cool. It wouldn't be all about All Star.
Yeah, I think I'd like because wrestlers it was kind of focused on
the company.
But it wasn't so much about the history of OVW, but kind of just the rough spot of where they were in and how they were getting out of it.
Yeah.
So it's I'd like to see an All-Star documentary kind of following where you started to where we are now, how we got there, and all the, I guess, setbacks and that sort of thing. And it'd be cool to kind of get a behind-the-scenes look of the guys backstage and interview some of them, and the guys who haven't been here for very long, or the guys that have been here since almost the beginning.
It'd be interesting to talk to a Keegan or Johnny Starr about how far it's come,
sure.
or Jasmine Brettle.
I've got a couple questions here about new titles. I'm just going to lump them in. Will All-Star ever feature a hardcore title? And there was also 2 questions about a cruiserweight title or any new titles in general. Now, I've got an opinion on this, but I'll let you answer first.
See, a hardcore title, so many places have tried that. Like AWS tried it, didn't work. EWA tried it, didn't work. Others, I'm sure, have tried.
Yeah.
Not interested in having a hardcore match every show.
I
Kind of
think-
removes the excitement of when it does happen. Like, when's the last time we did a hardcore match?
Aries and Jack. But would you even call that a hardcore match?
Yeah, they used tables and stuff. So that was like May.
Yeah, and then before that, I don't think it was till Otis and Morgan Rose against, was it Caesar and Hell Yeah? And that was October. So we've had 2 in the last year.
So yeah, so when we do them, it's like,
It's gotta
it's a
mean
big
something.
deal. So yeah, we'll do a hardcore match, but not for a belt. It'd be a hardcore match for 2 guys to settle the score. This actually come up on the NGL for All Star yesterday as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Cameron Keep says Aries wouldn't last 30 minutes in the ring with Johnny Starr. So I've heard. Cameraman Shay says 3 stages of hell. So yeah, that was the Aries.
That was May. Yeah.
Okay, let's look at some of these. How many people have signed up for intake number 2 for the school so far?
I think there's 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Maybe 8. There's one guy that applied from like Albury.
Oh wow.
I wonder if we'll actually see him turn up.
Yeah, well, I think at the first intake we had someone from Canberra show up.
Yeah.
They didn't end up sticking with us, but
No.
yeah,
there's so we were aiming for 10 spots, so there's 2 left. So if anyone's interested, head on over to All Star Training tab and send us a message applying, and
www.allstarwrestlingaustralia.com.au.
and then I think it's /training.
Yeah.
So
there's also
apply.
I think information through the social media as well.
Yeah, you'll easily find it, and you'll be here at All Star HQ on Saturday.
Right where we film the podcast.
That's
You'll
right.
see the big banner.
Yep.
This
It'll
one-
actually be the All Star banner.
Yeah,
We got to remove
we
this.
gotta take it down. So this one's not a question; it's a statement. Jazz is the only reason I attend All-Star shows. Why does Mitch always talk about how great everyone else is on the show? Jazz is the real All-Star. Now, part of me thinks that is Jasmine Brettle or possibly Keegan.
No, I don't think
We
they
do
would
mention
that.
Jazz though.
I love Jazz. She's been with us since 2019,
Yeah.
January 2019. So she's coming up on 5 years, and I think she's one of the best female wrestlers in New South Wales.
So do I.
So we apologize for whoever thinks Jazz is getting some flack.
Yeah, well, or just like the fact that they think that she's being snubbed. She's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we love Jasmine.
Yeah.
Jasmine's one of our favorite people. We've had her on the podcast actually. So
Yeah.
go check that out.
And
I think that was episode 8 or 9.
We only brought people on the pod that we like.
Yeah.
Except the puppeteer. Here, you got heat with him. But I love him.
Yeah, he's all right. All right. So wipe your ass. All right. So the rest of them are a bit iffy.
So
Not iffy.
we're heating up now.
Let's just focus on the comments.
And then
and
we'll heat it up.
We'll heat it up. Phil has a 2-part question.
Okay.
What is the worst bump taken in All-Star history? Let's answer that first.
We wouldn't know that because we're not the wrestlers.
Yeah.
The worst in terms of what I think it would be.
Wes Williams powerbomb on the boards.
Yeah, I know that fucked him up quite a bit. Like he was wrestling injured for a long time with that. I think he's still feeling it.
Yeah.
I
I was backstage taping his back every show.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wes Williams.
I haven't heard from him
Also,
in a while.
just quickly on the topic
Shout
of
out
shout
to
outs.
Deepak. Yeah.
No, oh yeah, shout out to Deepak. No. So I got a message from referee Nigel and he said, why do you never shout me out on the podcast?
Oh,
So shout out to referee Nigel.
I
love you.
love Nigel.
Yeah, what a guy.
You
Senior referee.
bury him all the time.
No,
but
I love him. He's so beautiful.
I love him.
Yeah.
He started out as a young referee that didn't know what he was doing, and now he's a senior official at All Star. It's a true underdog story, box.
It is.
I feel like we mentioned him before though, many times.
Probably. He's probably just being a little
Anyway, what's the question?
Second
Again.
part is, well, the first one is what is the worst bump? I'm going with the Wes Williams powerbomb.
What about the one where Jack Dullahan picked up Aries
Hmm.
in the middle of the crowd and put him through the table?
True. Yeah.
Or
Or-
the bump that Mikey Lord took where he did a moonsault and shattered his ankle.
well, that's the
that's
second
not
part of the
that's not really a
question.
bump though.
No, well, the second part is the question: what is the worst injury that happened during a show?
The worst
I'm going with
injury is
that.
definitely the Mikey
That's
thing.
probably one of the only injuries that have happened.
There's been a few minor ones.
I know Aries injured his ankle doing a dive on Ryan Eagle.
Yeah, that was a minor injury.
That was a minor injury.
The only time we've had someone have to leave the show to go to hospital was the Mikey situation.
Yeah.
So
What about the second ankle injury that he suffered?
let's not go into that one, Chief.
Yeah. So the injury would have to be Mikey because I think that's the only major
Yeah.
injury. The first one, the worst bump taken. I'm going with the power bomb from Wes Williams or on Wes Williams.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Oh,
Dullahan
In the
powerbombing
same
Aries.
match, Wes Williams got thrown over the rope. Oh, sorry, Morgan Rhodes got thrown over the rope.
Yeah, that'd be a tough one.
Yeah, it'd be one of those two for me.
Imagine taking a bump through this fence here. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Status Tomb, welcome back. Haven't seen you in a little bit. NRL Premiers 2024. Mitch says the
Roosters. Roosters.
Now, I'm more realistic than Mitch is. I'm not going to say Parramatta. I think Brisbane might have a good comeback.
Hold on. Why do you think that the Roosters wouldn't be realistic?
Because you're just saying that because you go for it.
No. We had the best team on paper at the start of this year.
And you barely made finals.
We barely made finals. Now, Brandon Smith, he's got a year with us now. We've signed Leniu from the Panthers,
Yeah.
grand finalist. Who else we signed?
You
Dom
said-
Young.
That's true.
He's been killing it.
That's a good addition. Wingers don't win comps, though.
They don't, but they certainly score tries, box.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's going to be a machine.
Top try scorer this year.
It'll be Roosters or Panthers. I don't think the Broncos will do it. They've lost
Yeah.
too many players.
There's talks that Parramatta are looking at swapping Ryan Madison for Josh Adokar. And if that is the case...
Shout out to Clarkie.
if that is the case...
These guys buried you, Clarkie, but I like you.
Yeah, I remember I messaged Clarky once and I was like, love your content, brother. And he didn't respond to me. I was like,
Oh, that's
well,
why you're here.
Yeah. Screw him.
Love your content, brother.
And yeah, no, I don't know about. I think Ryan Madison isn't a huge loss for us in the sense that our forward pack, I believe, is top 3 in the comp.
Mhm.
But Josh Adokar, like we are lacking in the outside backs.
I hope Para don't win. You'd be insufferable.
I would be insufferable. Oh,
I
you
hope-
guys, no, everyone would just be like, oh, about time. It's only been 40 years.
I hope they make the grand final and lose so we get to see you cry.
That happened in 2022. I cried.
I feel for you, Chief.
Yeah. Ring announcer Bill. Shout out to the Albury guy. My dad and granddad and their family grew up in Albury. Papa was the principal at Albury High School for many years, passed away last week.
Well,
Sorry to hear
we're
that.
sorry to hear that, but don't give the Albury guy a shout out until he turns up
Yeah.
because he could just be a joker.
The zoo, which we call home, says Jasmine is the highest ratings on All Star.
It's true.
That
She's
is
got a
true.
video that hit like 40,000 views.
That's nuts.
And it's not even like a big moment like her winning the belt or anything. It's just a random segment.
Status Doom says Jaden Ockenbaugh has been released from the Dogs, so they have a chance at the title.
I'd take him at the Roosters,
Nah,
Ockenbaugh. No.
he's like just like Corey Oates. Corey Oates, they tried him in the back row and then they put him back on the wing. I don't know.
All right.
I know this is a wrestling podcast. Why are we talking about footy? Ring announcer Pill says totally agree with the Broncos being favorites for 24. They were unlucky in the grand final. Clear
Unlucky.
yeah, more like dog shit.
They put together an amazing 15 minutes and that's it.
By the way, Madison Adokar is a good shout. Eels have good forwards and need better backs. That is true. The zoo which we call home. Dullahan through table off the ladder was a big ass bump.
It was a big
That's
ass,
true.
yeah. All right.
Yeah. Oh, Jay Mariner, new face. Love you, Jason. Penrith Four-Peat, not happening, brother.
Who's Jay Mariner?
He's a friend of mine.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, not happening, brother. Not happening. You're a bandwagoner anyway.
Penrith Four-Peat could happen.
That could happen. That's why I'm scared. David Bullock says take Addo-Carr. He's a Bulldogs fan. David Bullock. Dullahan off the ladder. Yeah, one of his rare losses the last year. That is true.
One of his only losses.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
Box. We're gonna heat things up now, aren't we?
Let's do it.
Are we? Now you've read these. I haven't read them.
Yeah, I've read some of them.
Is there gonna be heat?
Maybe a little bit.
All right.
Guys, if this is the last episode we ever do, it's been a pleasure.
Get killed in my sleep by
Yeah.
an angry wrestling promoter.
Yeah. Well, there's been a few mentioned in these questions.
Wow.
so,
All right.
um,
Look, we said we're open to anything. And of
Yeah.
course, if you got a question that you want to send through anonymously, you can do it on the Mitch and Alex Instagram page.
that is true.
If you want to send it through on the chat, you're more than welcome to.
Now, I'm going to leave our thoughts on the overall wrestling scene till later.
We'll do that one last.
This one's kind of funny. Why does Mitch have beef with Piers Austin?
I didn't know that I had beef with Piers Austin.
Yeah, apparently he talks about you every week.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that I did.
But we went into this. A lot of people have beef with you. But
And
you
I don't know
with
about
them.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea about it. Like, there was a guy, I still don't remember his name, but you told me that, oh, do you know who,
Yes.
do you know who such and such is? He hates you. I'm like, no, who is he? You're like, oh, well, this, and this. I'm like, that guy refereed a show for me 4 years ago. And I had to message someone and say, hey, do you know who this guy is? And they said, yeah, he refereed 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And he hates me.
That is pretty funny.
I got beef with people I don't even know I got beef with. It's incredible.
It is pretty funny. Will All-Star return to Newcastle? What do Mitch and Alex think of the competition in Newcastle? Opinions on Kingdom, Newey Pro, and Super. So let's break that down. Will All-Star return to Newcastle?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's already booked in, confirmed. We're trying to get more dates up there because a few people have been asking when are you coming
Yeah.
back to Newcastle.
We've got 2 or 3 booked in for next year.
Just one so
Oh,
far.
just one so
But we're talking to the venue, and the venue's keen. It's just finding dates.
Yeah.
What was the second part? What do we think of the competition?
Yeah, what do we think of the competition? Opinions on Kingdom, Newey Pro, and Suplex. Let's go one by one. I think let's start with Newey Pro.
Newey Pro, good promotion.
Yeah.
You can't fault them. They're producing good talent from their wrestling school. To my knowledge, I've never been in a show, but to my knowledge, they draw really well.
Yeah.
They got a tight ship. I don't think we're in competition with them though, because I mentioned this before on the pod. I think the products are so vastly different.
Yeah.
Like similar to here in Sydney, are we competition to PWA? No.
No.
And
And like,
it's a completely different style. So if you like the modern independent wrestling style, of course you're gonna love them and not like us. But if you're someone that likes the traditional style,
well, I think in that sense we're not competition, but if you just look at it at face value at 2 wrestling companies, then
yeah, then possibly.
Yeah.
But like I don't think we're gonna go in there and take Newey Pro's audience from them.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're a competition. The other 2, I guess we're closer to competition with.
yeah.
But they don't even run Newcastle.
Yeah.
Like
they-
Kingdom's up in Maitland and Suplex is in
Cessnock?
Cessnock.
Yeah.
So I'm not from Newcastle. I don't know if that's considered Newcastle, kind of like Shell Harbour's considered Wollongong.
I guess it's kind of just like how a lot of places are considered like within Sydney.
Yeah, well, we're in Newcastle City, and each promotion from there is like 30, 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
But what do I think of Suplex? I don't rate them. And Kingdom, I also don't rate them. What about you, Box? Comment?
I haven't seen enough of their stuff to rate them.
That's a diplomatic answer.
It
That's
is,
good.
yeah.
All right, he hasn't seen enough. Box
yeah.
doesn't care.
Yeah, no, I don't. Not really. All right, next.
Here we go, Box. That wasn't too controversial, was it?
No, that wasn't. This one might be. What do Mitch and Alex think about the death of EWA? Thoughts on Sam Eder?
Well, I didn't know that EWA was dead.
Yeah, neither did I.
I heard from someone that it was, but like they haven't announced that, have they?
No, I don't think they have.
I don't think they announced too much.
Well, I mean, they only run like what 3 or 4 shows a year, don't they?
Yeah, I'm gonna put this out there. Promotion EWA, they run 3 times a year. Like, is it even a blip if they die? Like, will anyone notice?
Well,
Apart from the workers and the staff, which
Yeah.
sucks for them, they miss out on a booking.
yeah, of
but
course.
like, to me, like you're a hobbyist if you're not running at least
Once a month.
like 8 to 10 shows a year.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, yeah, 3 shows a year. Like, doesn't matter.
Like, I guess if they were big marquee shows where you like they were like super shows.
I'm sure in Sam Eater's mind they are big marquee shows though.
Yeah, fair enough.
As for my opinion on him,
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
I mean, he.
Is this a beef?
No, I don't have beef with him. Although,
He probably thinks you do.
yeah, probably. My thoughts on him. We did a show together in 2020. You ran a show over at the Bankstown PCYC
Yeah.
using the All Star name,
Yep.
and he was okay to work with. As a booker, he didn't know what he was doing, and I still don't think that he does. To be honest, you look at the shows, it's not. But there's a lot of good talent there. I'm not saying he doesn't have a good eye for talent, but he's not a booker.
Well, I mean, you look at. Let's just use rugby league for example, right?
Yeah.
Not every great player makes a great coach.
Well, he's not a great player though.
You don't think he's a good wrestler?
Sam Eater.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen any of his stuff, so I can't.
Sam Eater's career, to my knowledge, and I'm pretty educated on the New South Wales scene.
Yeah, you are.
He was like a lower tier wrestler. He was doing UWF. He's doing UWA sparingly when I was there.
Yeah.
He's doing CWA. And then nobody really wanted to book him. I gave him a run on my show too. He was okay. And then nobody wanted him, so he opened up his own, put a belt on himself. It's the same story over and over.
Fair enough.
You know, every promotion in town does that now.
Yeah. Except you. You've never been.
You'll never be champion. There's a couple promoters that are non-wrestlers, but yeah, I don't rate anything Sam Eater does. He's not a businessman. He tried to tell me he was a businessman once, and I laughed and I said, I won't tell you what I said. It was pretty. But when you run 2 or 3 shows a year, you're not relevant, and you should probably stop trying to be.
Fair enough. That
That
yeah.
was a bit controversial.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of businessmen, that was a great segue.
Okay.
Is Mitch a better businessman than 5-Star Flash? Akel says it's a close call.
Well,
I feel like I can't ask you that question because you're Mitch, but I feel like I can't answer that question because one,
you'd
I
be
don't-
considered biased.
yeah, but not only that, I don't know what kind of businessman 5-Star is, and I don't know what kind of businessman you are because I don't know too much of the behind the scenes and the business side of the.
I
the
mean,
production.
look, being compared to 5e in a business sense is an insult. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
I've made money for 2024 already. He's lost money for 2024 already.
Yeah, I did just see that his show was postponed.
Yeah, that's a shame.
It is. I think it's a shame
It's
because
a shame for the talent and everyone involved. Like,
it's a shame because like there are probably fans of this product and they miss out on the show.
yeah.
Um,
Well, Fox, they can come November 18th to the iconic Padstow RSL.
Club.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is a show that weekend. There's a few actually.
Yeah, there is.
Yep.
Um,
Won't mention them though. It's just us.
yeah. There can only be one,
That's
and
right.
it's us.
That's us.
Yeah. What?
Former WWE superstar in the main event, by the way.
Against former All-Star Heavyweight Champion and former All-Star Tag Team Champion Keegan
Mhm.
Brettle,
Mhm.
and another former All-Star Tag Team Champion
Mhm.
in Lee Moreau.
What a main event.
What a main event! That may be one of our best main events in
Of the
recent history.
yeah, in recent history, yeah. I was gonna say of the year. There's
Yeah.
been a few this year, but
Yeah. Why did All Star and Wrestle Strong Dojo split?
wow.
I don't even know this story. So
It's not much of one. Lisa, who owns the Wrestle Strong Dojo, formerly Amy Action, she's not a very nice person, to put it bluntly. First ever message she sent me, we had like bios of the wrestlers, and I got her husband's weight wrong. And she's like, if you're gonna do a website, do it properly. And I had to tolerate her for about 2 years because I rated her husband as a wrestler. And everything kind of just split at the seams in the early 2020s, and she would harass me to the point that I had to block her on Messenger from messaging me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Only a few people have ever had that happen to them, haven't
That's
they?
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. She's one of few.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, that's why the split happened. She wanted it to pretty much be Wrestle Strong Dojo Wollongong. And I said, fuck that. I think I'm going to invest in the likes of Kingston, Eclipse, and Keegan
And look where they
instead
got
of the likes of DB Robertson and Shanesaw.
Fair enough. All right. The content cat says I love beef. I like beef too, but only when I'm eating it. Then again, I guess watching other people have beef is fun, but
Is this fun for you, Box?
a little bit.
You get the side heat.
I know, this is pretty funny. Ring announcer Phil says, RIP to EWA. Sorry to them, but I didn't know they existed. You almost just
Because it brings up my point brilliantly. Like, you run 2 or 3 shows a year, you're not relevant. Unless you're like a World Series type where you're bringing out 12 internationals.
I remember I was speaking to
They're running 12 shows a year, World Series.
I was speaking to a former podcast host of mine. And
Oh, that narrows it down.
yeah. And
It's either Keegan or Xander Rose.
yeah. And that was like, it was when AEW was nice and hot. And I was like, oi, I'm waiting for there to be a promotion called EWA, Elite Wrestling Australia. And certainly enough.
Someone from their organization at EWA told me that they were called Elite Wrestling Australia simply because they were hoping that people would like search AEW Australia, like All Elite Wrestling. They'd get confused and see EWA. Now, I don't know if that's true, but that's just a rumor.
I mean, I guess that's, in a sense, a smart marketing strategy, but it's a bit
no,
stupid.
that's dumb marketing strategy, like most of what they did.
Damn. He also says, I think those workers should look elsewhere for consistent work. Well, I mean, a lot of the guys that work their shows do work elsewhere.
Yeah, but they're working like all over the place. There's no place for them to work where they can get 20, 25 dates a year or more.
Yeah.
You know?
Status Tomb says, have you heard of Championship Wrestling Entertainment? Apparently a new Aussie Fed. I
have not.
I've seen the name pop up somewhere, but I haven't really paid it too much attention.
I'm gonna have to search for that.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Is it really? Do we need it? Where is it based?
I'm not sure.
Unless it's based in like. No, because they've got a lot of promotions too.
Yeah, true. Ring Announcer Bill says no heat intended, but I agree. 4 times a year is just not sustainable unless you're a big promotion who sells that big arena.
It wasn't even 4.
Yeah.
It was. I think this year it was 2.
It's Shay says WSW only runs a few times a year, but they're more of a recurring tour, perhaps. Yeah.
It's like like it's World Series kind of like when WWE pops up. I'm not saying WWE is not relevant. World Series with their 12 internationals are relevant.
Yeah.
But 2 or 3 local shows a year, you're not relevant.
The Zoo, which we call home, says, when are you doing a gauntlet match? That I like that idea.
We did one last year.
Which one was this?
Hell yeah, ran the gauntlet.
Did he?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, was that the Wes Williams challenge or whatever that he did?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I don't know when we'll do one next.
I think it'd be cool to see Jack Dullahan like rip through like 5 guys in a gauntlet match.
Yeah. Maybe a bunch of the students.
Maybe. Oh, I don't want to.
I'd love to see you get power bombed by Jack Dullahan, Box.
Oh, that'd hurt. Too Sweet Matty Chew says, no bread, no water, just meat. That's a Booker T comment there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Contact Cat says, man on the left looks like Jack Black.
Who's the man on the left? I mean, okay. Jack Black. I'm going to look that up. Current Jack Black or like School of Rock Jack Black? That was him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, he hasn't really aged that much, to be honest.
He was very fat though, so I'm not feeling that as a compliment, Content Cat. How dare you?
Millennial Man says rank the bookers. That's pretty broad. Give us a list.
Give us a list and we'll rank them.
CWE is based in South Australia.
Okay. Doesn't affect me.
Yeah. 5-Star Flash, AV, Sam Eder, TNT, Adam Graham, Piers Austin.
Well, you can eliminate Piers Austin. He's not a booker.
Yeah.
Not educated on the business very much either. Who are the others?
5-star Flash, AV, Sam Eder, TNT, Adam Graham.
Well, Adam Graham's not a booker either. He hires bookers.
Right.
So
eliminate him
that's not an insult to Adam Graham, by the way. Last thing I need is him in my inbox again.
again. Okay, so that leaves 4.
Who are they again?
5e, AV, Sam Eder, TNT.
I'll put TNT first because he had a run that was hot.
Yeah.
Not that it was a great booking run, but he did have success.
Yeah.
For quite a while, actually.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of his peak, but he had a good run.
The early 2000s, I think, was his early to mid 2000s, would you say?
No, mid to early 2010s.
Okay.
Things started to drop off in like, I don't want to be quoted on this, but 2013 maybe.
Okay.
And then who have we got again? AV, Sam Eder, and who? 5e.
5e.
Oh, they're all as bad as each other.
Really?
None of them are bookers. Like,
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right?
they're just guys who.
I don't know much about AV, which is Millennial. Love how he wanted to be ranked. That pops me. 5e and Sam Eder are both wrestlers turned bookers. Right.
And they're guys that ran promotions because nobody wanted to book them. Let's be real.
Mm.
And AV is a guy who almost killed Queensland wrestling, so I can't reasonably rank them because they're all as bad as each other.
Fair
I'd
enough.
say Sam Eder's probably second worst because he did the least damage, and 5e didn't kill New South Wales wrestling, so he's third, and AV's last or
Okay.
first. He's the worst. AV's the worst.
Okay. Fair enough.
But like, that's a shitty list.
Yeah, that is a shitty list.
They're all bad.
I'd like to see give us like a list of great bookers to get us.
That would be interesting.
That would be. Jack killing the students, Win Box taking the Powerbomb.
I hope he powerbombs you through a table, airy style.
Ever seen an example of a terrible move getting over as a finisher or something basic popping the crowd?
The teapot drop.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
Yeah, like
getting over.
a good example is MJF doing the kangaroo kick, it pops the crowd, and it's just a drop kick. I don't know if you've seen that. So basically, when MJF and Adam Cole were feuding with the Aussie Open, actually,
Yeah.
they were like, "Oh, let's go." They did a little vignette where they went and fought some kangaroos and learned the kangaroo kick, and it's
Okay.
literally just a drop kick where he like jumps up and like drop kicks somebody. It's pretty stupid. But it's over. It's over as hell.
A lot of stupid things are over in AEW. Orange Cassidy comment.
You don't like Orange Cassidy, that's fine.
Let's not go into that.
Let's not go into that. You'll make a lot of people. You'll get more heat on that than you will on saying.
Nah, I bet your ring announcer Phil agrees.
I don't know. But yeah, the teapot drop definitely. And for those who don't know, the teapot drop
It's
is
done by the puppeteer.
the puppeteer. Thoughts on Kasai? Has he been booked in All Star before?
I like Kasai a lot. He's a smart wrestling mind, and I hear he's a great wrestling coach. He was booked at All Star once, and I'd like to book him again. He does a lot of like jiu-jitsu tournaments. I don't want to misrepresent. He's martial arts tournaments, so he's hard to book, and he's he takes bookings sparingly. But he's a great guy and a great wrestler, and we all think highly of him here at All Stars. So
Yeah.
you might see Kasai here in future.
I've met Kasai once before, and I had a brief, like it was probably only a 5-minute conversation, but I could just tell
Smart guy.
very smart guy, very educated on wrestling, and like very like smart in general, but wrestling specifically.
Yep.
Okay, so we're about 40, almost 50 minutes in.
All right. We
And-
got to get through whatever questions we have left.
Well, it's just this one at the moment. Oh, you've got some that you sent me as well, so let's go to those.
I sent you some through the All Star NGL,
You did.
but they were softball questions. You want to start with them?
We'll go to them, and then we'll go to the big one.
All right.
Um,
I feel like the big one isn't going to be as controversial.
well, it's our thoughts on New South Wales wrestling scene, but I think
There'll be a lot of discussion.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So who is the most promising of all of the All-Star training?
Promising how, like,
Most likely to be successful. I don't know.
but the puppeteer is a great character.
Yeah.
Dancing Dave's great. You're all great in your own ways. Like you're great speaker. Jimmy Poulton, he's in shape. No, Jimmy's good as well. I'm just messing around with Jimmy. Yeah, like they all have positives. But Dancing Dave and the Puppeteer are on shows already, so they'd be the most promising right now. But who knows? In a year, this man right here might be the All-Star champion, and Dancing Dave might be in match 2.
Maybe. I doubt it, but maybe.
Doubtful, but you never know.
Ever thought about running an invasion angle? Now, I don't know how that would work because
Who's invading us?
or who are we invading? WWE did their WCW invasion angle, but that was after they bought them out, so they owned them. We don't own any other companies.
We should buy EWA and have them invade.
Yeah, no, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wes Williams still on the mend or back in November? I haven't spoken to him.
Well, to my knowledge, he will be there in November.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with him and Hell Yeah, but they're both scheduled to be there in November. So
that'll be interesting.
If you're waiting for Wes Williams to be announced to buy your tickets, he will be there. Wes will be there.
Will the Grub and the Rug? I like that. I wonder who came up with that.
The Grub and the Rug.
Defend their titles at the iconic Padstow RSL in November.
Yes, they will be there. Yep.
That's the cruiserweight title one. So that's that.
Those are the softball questions. You killed 3 minutes, Box. Congrats.
I did. Ring announcer Phil says OC had an amazing match with Pac. I admit he's occasionally cringe, but when paired with a serious wrestler,
he's always cringe.
Watch his match against Pac, and you'll admit Orange
No,
Cassidy
we're not.
is ironically asleep.
No Orange Cassidy today.
You said
Box.
ring announcer Phil was going to agree.
Nah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Someone smarter will.
Kids love it. David Bullock said he agreed.
There we go. Smart man.
Yeah. Whiskers or pedigree? I'm a pedigree guy.
I'm a Whiskers guy.
Are you?
It's the premier cat food.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm a dog guy, so I always went pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
Ring announcer Phil says thoughts on the Canadian Destroyer as removed. Will we ever see one in All Star? And if it ever happens, what are the betting odds on it being Aries who does it? I think
higher betting odds for that.
Yeah. I don't know that we will see it. I don't think I think I've seen one pile driver in All Star ever, and it was from Ricky South. Oh, and then I saw a tombstone from Slex, I believe.
Canadian Destroyer is too overused now. Like, if someone was to use it, I'd want them to use it as a finish, but then can you use it as a finish based on how overused it is now? Like, probably not. So I don't think we'll see it, no.
Speaking of the Canadian Destroyer and Orange Cassidy, I don't know if anyone saw that ridiculous little sequence there where Cassidy gave Penta a Canadian Destroyer. He popped up and gave Cassidy a Canadian Destroyer. And then Cassidy got back up and hit him with another one. It was just incredibly stupid. Content Cat says my favorite invasion angle was EWA AWS. I don't understand the reference.
Do you want to talk about that one?
Do you want to?
I'll tell. Oh, well, for the people that don't know,
I don't know. So. Is this a Tyson Gibbs reference?
No. This is before Tyson Gibbs was there.
Oh.
Goran, I think, was the booker at the time. And I like Goran, so I won't shit on it too bad. But pretty much, there was like Mitch Radecki and the suplex guy in the ring, and Sam Eder and his tag partner. I don't even remember the guy's name. They stormed to the ring.
Mick Farouk.
Yeah, Mick Farouk.
Oh, that.
Yeah,
who did he versed AKL at that?
Yeah, that was a pretty bad match too. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So they stormed the ring.
We should have got to EWA a lot today.
Yeah. Sam Eder's gonna be in your inbox, isn't he?
It's all right. I welcome him. We'll go fisticuffs again. verbally. Anyway, they're trying to cut this promo about how they're going to take over AWS and the microphone isn't working, and then they beat up Mitch Radecki, which nobody cared about. Nothing against Mitch Radecki, by the way. I like him as well.
Yeah.
But
Lovely fella.
Nobody cared, and then it was never mentioned again. Then it popped me.
Damn,
I love when angles are randomly dropped. Like, just no, there's not an invasion anymore.
Yeah. Invasion angles always suck, says Shay.
Yeah, look, to be honest, the only really amazing one was the NWO.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind the WWF
Was that with
invasion.
DX as well? They did a little invasion, didn't they?
No, like the NWO trying to take over.
Oh
angle.
yeah. Was that the one that led to Hogan versus Rock?
No. WCW's NWO.
Oh, okay.
Oh, box.
Sorry. No, because
Gotta
I
do
know
your
w,
research,
they
Chief.
did they did a little thing that led to Hogan versus Rock, and it was
Yeah,
NWO
yeah.
title.
But this is NWO from 1996.
Okay.
About a decade before you were born.
9 years actually.
Yeah, there you go. No, it was one of the most popular angles in wrestling. You gotta go look that up, Chief.
There's been too many invasions.
I like the WWE one as well, which was
Was that the one that led to
controversial.
Survivor Series?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that one. But the rest, I would agree, most of them are shit. Ring of Honor CZW did a good one too. Yeah.
Book Dolph Ziggler, says the content cat.
Yeah, we commented, I think a week or two ago, Dolph Ziggler be too expensive.
Yeah.
But I'd love to if he's listening. Dolph, we'll have you.
David Bullock says, thanks for asking my softball question.
Oh, David sent the
Yeah.
softball questions.
You know what,
I'm
David?
glad.
We love the content.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I'm glad someone's interacting with it. The zoo which we call home says B-Boy versus Kasai. That'd be a great match. B-Boy
very
is such a
interesting.
talented. He's a wrestler's wrestler.
I wonder if they've wrestled before.
Yeah, I wonder. The content cat says, when is Jack Dullahan winning the belt?
Don't know. He's not even in contention yet, Content Cat.
Yeah, content cat. Keep up with the content. The Aussie Observer says hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. This last
Is that a
question.
fake Aussie Observer? Because
I don't know.
you've got some beef with the Aussie Observer.
I don't know. I wonder if that's the fake one or the real one. So,
It's a fake Aussie Observer. I love our audience here. Like they're in on the jokes. Like someone has made a fake Aussie Observer
yeah,
just to piss you off.
yeah.
I love it.
Anyway,
They're stirring the pot.
what is Alex and Mitch's thoughts on the overall New South Wales wrestling scene? Do you
I
want
feel
to
like
start? Or
I
do you
feel
want
like
me?
I feel like we went into this
We
with Johnny Starr.
We did, but that was 8 episodes ago, and I think
What, things have changed in 2 months, have they?
no, but I think I don't know if we have some viewers here that didn't watch
All
that
right, we'll
episode.
go into it.
And it's just because we've got half an hour to kill. So
Thoughts on the New South Wales wrestling scene. I mean, if we want to be objective, there is good and there is bad.
yeah, well, there's good and bad and everything. But
Yeah. Like we said 2 months ago, there's more bad than good.
I think the New South Wales wrestling scene's very bloated. I think that's a good way to put it.
Well, look, there's 2 promotions now that probably won't be here in 2024 because FWA is moving to Melbourne.
Yeah.
EWA is apparently out of business.
Dead, according to the question.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they are dead. I specified that. Maybe they'll be back, but they don't run enough to be relevant anyway, like I mentioned
Yeah.
before. So that would leave in Sydney.
Let's make a list. I'm gonna write.
Yeah. All right. You tell me when you're ready, Box.
I'm ready.
There would be AWF.
Yeah.
Who barely run.
Yeah.
But they ran 3 times this year.
Mhm.
There's AWS.
Yeah.
We doing Sydney or all in New South Wales?
Let's go all of New South
All
Wales.
right. There's the Wrestle Strong Dojo.
Yep.
There is AWE.
Yep.
PWA. And is that it for IWA?
IWA.
And I think that's it for Sydney.
Wrestling Go.
Wrestling Go, yeah. And is that it for Sydney?
Think so?
So how many is that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, including us.
Oh, yeah. We cut out Box? We cut out.
What's going on? We're good. We're good.
Imagine if we cut out just as we were about to get controversial.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
So there's 8, and you say it's too bloated. I'd agree. You could probably cut 5 from Sydney alone, and then you've got outside of Sydney, you got Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
You've got
Kingdom,
Suplex,
Suplex.
Nui Pro. Well, NCPW apparently isn't running anymore either.
Oh, really?
The Port Macquarie based promotion. So that's 3 that'll be gone in 2024.
Wow.
So how many is that? That's like 11.
So we've got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13
13.
In all of New South Wales.
I'd agree. It's quite bloated.
Yeah, I think
Now here's the better question. Out of all of them, how many of them are good?
I'm not going to name them.
Like, we can't even give our, like, we won't even be biased, but that's an open-ended question. How many?
Should we get rid of ours? Like, should we not count us, or should we include us in that conversation?
We won't include us.
Yeah, okay.
Because
So,
obviously,
biased.
I think we're good, or I wouldn't be running. But
probably 4 of the 8 Sydney promotions I would count as good.
okay,
And probably 2 of the out of Sydney promotions I count as good.
so there's 7 out of 12, or what was
13.
it? 13, 7.
Yeah.
Imagine if you cut all the bad out, how good New South Wales wrestling would be.
And I think it'd be even better because the companies that I would count as good are different styles of wrestling. Like we run a different style to PWA, who run a different style to IWA, who run a different style to even Wrestling Go or Rock and Roll or Newey Pro or Suplex or whatever promotion it is.
Yep.
A lot of promotions, like there are some that are similar.
There's some that blatantly rip off others as well.
There are. I was just about to say that. Great minds.
Great minds think alike.
There are a lot of promotions that are similar in some senses, but there is a difference. Like you said earlier, PWA is a vastly different style to what we run.
Yeah.
So there are going to be people that are fans of that style of wrestling. There are going to be people that are fans of our style of wrestling, or they're going to be people that are fans of both.
My thought, though, is you cut the shit. Yeah. There's 7 good ones. Imagine a New South Wales scene where you had 4 promotions in Sydney and 3 regional ones. Like, how great would that be?
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah. I think you're right. It's bloated, and that causes a lot of issues. And the reason it does, like, not to shit on AWF, but they sold a show out in Campbelltown to a charity. I don't know how much the charity paid for it, but they had like over 100 people there.
Yeah.
These 100 people, they probably aren't hardcore Australian wrestling fans.
Yeah.
So they go out to this building. They go, oh, we're going to see a wrestling show. It's going to be like WWE. They come out, they see, for the most part, there's a couple good guys on AWF, but for the most part, poorly trained wrestlers with no production, out of shape guys. Like, to those people, they go, oh yeah, I tried Aussie wrestling once. It was fucking shit.
Yeah.
I'm never going back. Then they might see an all-star poster. Oh no, that's Australian wrestling. It's shit. I'm not going. That's what the bad promotions are doing to the better ones.
Yeah. And
a lot of the bad promotions only exist to stroke someone's ego as well. They're not designed to make money or put on good shows. It's just, I'm a wrestler. I want to be the champion.
Yeah.
Or, unfortunately, some promotions that I won't name, they're just trying to con people.
Yeah.
That's the New South Wales scene. Unfortunately, there's good out there, there's bad out there. I'd love to eliminate the bad.
Yeah, which is tough because like it's one of those things where anyone who has enough money can just open up a promotion and whatever, and it feels so like people who probably aren't the right people to be running a promotion are running a promotion. And like you said, it kind of ruins the rep of Australian wrestling overall.
Well, to touch on that, there's a guy, like nowadays, because they do no ring wrestling.
Yeah.
There's a guy in Narrabri. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I've never been there. Some country town 8 hours north. Yeah. This guy is he's not a wrestler, not a promoter. He goes, I'm going to run a show. So he books a building, puts some steel fences up and some mats. Oh, this is Australian wrestling. Cool. So anyone who attended that show, they're like, oh, this is fucking garbage. They didn't even have a wrestling ring at the wrestling show.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Like, And that lends credibility to what you just said. That's a guy who shouldn't be promoting wrestling. Or if he wants to, give money to a reputable promotion and have them do it for him.
Yeah.
Because me, I'll take a booking from anyone. I'll go to Narrabri.
Yeah.
Go anywhere. Go to Queensland.
Yeah.
ACT.
Yeah.
I actually would not go to the ACT.
No.
But I
would
would.
you count the ACT like Slam, for example? Would you put them as
Slam are good.
New South Wales?
No, I wouldn't. But
No?
Slam's a good promotion, and they're doing a lot of really good things. And I'm friendly with the guys there, and I wouldn't do anything to upset their business.
Yeah,
but
no, I like I said, I probably haven't watched the Slam show, but I don't watch.
No, I don't think they upload full shows, but like they're doing a big show at the National Convention Center in next month or the month after.
Yeah,
and like that's huge. So they're doing a great job down there, but unfortunately, we can't claim them as New South Wales.
No, yeah. But even more so, it just shows how many promotions there would be. But
yeah, but there'd be another contributor as a good one.
Yeah, they would be.
But then there's a bad one down there too.
Yeah,
like a real bad one. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we will.
I'll link you. We'll watch it. We'll tee it up.
Yeah. I was looking at like just if you look at Australia overall, the Australian wrestling scene. There is so much bad that outweighs the good. Like it's not just New South Wales. Like you look at every state, for example. For every good promotion, there's 2 bad ones.
Is that true?
Like the math's probably off, but like roughly, right? I don't know. Like you look at
ACT, it's 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Melbourne, I know that there's a couple bad ones there, but I think for the most part they're good.
Like you just like. If you look at, for example, every state, there's probably, like in Sydney, there's probably a lot more.
Yeah, because we're the most overinflated wrestling.
Yeah, but I think like for every state, there's maybe 3 companies that you look at, they're great, but how many others are there that aren't? You know what I mean? Like if we were to do a deep dive, which maybe we will one day.
Maybe we need the content.
We do. If we were to look at every promotion in every state. Which ones are notable, which ones aren't. Like if I were to just off the top of my head, if someone was like name all the promotions in Perth, the only one I know is EPW. Right? But that's coming from someone who hasn't really looked at Australian wrestling overall, more so the Sydney scene. But that just goes to show that they're a good promotion because I've heard of them. Right? Yeah. Same with
it's also because they've been around for like 25 years though.
Yeah, and there's Riot City Wrestling in Adelaide.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there any promotions in the Northern Territory?
Yeah, there's one called Top End Wrestling. Our friend Johnny Patini's up there, actually.
Is he?
Yes.
Wow, what a guy.
Yep.
Queensland. I know of maybe 1 or 2 promotions. I probably can't remember the names.
No, they got a few, but I don't know how good they are. Like I know there's one that books Aries, which is quite good.
Yep.
I know they draw really well.
Yeah.
Like.
ICW, IPW, or something like that.
There's a VPW.
VPW? There is a VPW.
Yes.
That one's not great, is it? Is that one good?
That's ran by that Cobra guy. Yeah. But I don't know. Like, I see that they book like Billy Mack and other good wrestlers.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I did see Nikki Petite pop up on one of their ads recently. So it's questionable.
That's a different story. That's a story for another week.
Is it?
I've missed quite a few comments here.
All right.
Aussie Observer says AWF is on next week. I think this is the real Aussie Observer.
Hello, Aussie Observer.
AWF is on next week. He then said Birdman Promotion. I think that was when we were listening to it.
Yep.
Used to be Top Promotion. That was AWF.
Yeah, I've said a few times on the pod, like when I was a kid, AWF was the bomb.
Yeah.
They used to
time where AWF and like IWA were the top dogs.
Yeah, but IWA was more regional. So like IWA would go and do 7 dates a month, sorry. Yeah, they would, yeah. They'd do them and they might have like 1 Sydney show or 2 Sydney shows, but a lot of them would be regional or up in Newey or Central Coast or whatever.
We did 4 shows in a month and I never wanted to go to a wrestling show.
Yeah. They were doing quite a few. They do an annual tour.
Yeah.
They do like Dubbo. I think they still do Dubbo. They do Dubbo, Parks, Condobolin, Deniliquin, all these places.
Never even heard about them.
Yeah, but they were drawing big crowds. I was lucky enough to be able to do one of them as a referee.
Yeah.
And like in the smaller towns, they'd have 250, and then Dubbo and Orange, they were the big towns. They do 350, 450 for Dubbo.
Yeah, right.
Like the AWF was doing a lot of great Sydney business.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were number one. They used to do a loop. They'd do Wollongong, Sydney, Newcastle with an international guest. I got to see so many great international stars as a kid, just local to me because of AWF. But it's sad to see how far they've dropped off.
Yeah.
They kind of just had one good concept, which was the international concept.
Yeah.
And then they ran it into the ground and haven't known what to do since.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's my view on them.
The Content Cat asks, what is the worst show put on by
There was a show in July of 2019. I don't remember what happened, but a lot of wrestlers had to pull out. There was maybe 3 or 4 like regular all-star guys, like there was Keegan, Johnny Starr, and a couple others. Most of the card was filled out by the Wrestle Strong Dojo.
Right.
And there's nobody there, and the match quality was bad, and it's probably the worst one. Yes, yeah. And funnily enough, when we split with Wrestle Strong Dojo, we went on to have much more success. But yeah, no, that was the worst one.
Keanu Review says, I agree. I wish the scene itself would clean itself up here. Well, that's the thing. Like, there's so many egos within the wrestling business that everyone thinks they're the best. And there's a difference between thinking you're the best and being absolutely terrible, and genuinely being confident in your product.
Yeah, but a lot of people would say if you're not confident that you're the best, you should be out of the business.
Yeah.
See, the issue for me is there's too many people involved who just don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about bookers before. Like, you think about it, how many genuine bookers are out there in the Aussie wrestling scene or New South Wales?
Well, that's the thing. Like, apart from you, I don't know any bookers.
Well, you'd give whoever's booking PWA a thumbs up.
Yeah.
You give whoever's booking Nui Pro a thumbs up.
Yep.
Rock and Roll, they've drawn money forever, so there's good booking there.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe a couple more that we're missing, but most of the time, the booker of a promotion is an experienced wrestler. And they're just like, let's bring all my friends on, and I'll get to hang out with my friends every couple months. And, you know, if we draw money, we don't draw money, it doesn't matter. Booking is an art form.
Yeah, no, it is.
And oh, look who's here. It's Dancing Dave.
It is. We're in the middle of a serious conversation, so you can sit down and shut up.
Take a seat, Dancing Dave. Where was I, Box?
I can't remember. You're talking about
bookers. Yeah, you need to have a good booker, but there's so few out there, and there's not many people interested in learning how to book.
Yeah.
Like, when's the last time a promotion put on a really hot angle that got you excited and you go, oh?
Well, I can't comment because I've mainly just seen all stuff.
I can't think of a hot angle.
Like, even like looking on the internet, right?
Yeah.
Like, and just following other promotions through social media, I haven't seen many hot angles that have been like, oh, I want to watch that show.
And see, like, I don't know about you, but for me, what attracted me to wrestling in the first place, and still does, is the storytelling.
I think that's a big thing for me compared to, that's why I was always drawn to All Star and compared to the modern indie style. And it's not that the modern indie yeah, like I think trying to cram
someone is having a big fire.
I wonder if that's that ball that we lost. Yeah, a lot of things that. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Where was I? What was that?
Oh, Box, you've fumbled.
I fumbled.
You're talking about.
Sorry, yes, storytelling. A
Yeah.
lot of fans look at wrestling and just want to see as many moves as possible crammed into one.
That's
match.
fine. That's fine.
That is fine. But I'm a guy who wants to see a story told, whether it's hero versus villain or whatever it is. You know, whether it's a David versus Goliath story or whatever. That's what intrigues me, and it's just wrestling is just a really out there form of storytelling. It's just, it's a different form.
It's a soap opera for men, as Someone said.
Yeah, a lot of people have told me it's soap opera in spandex. But
Yeah.
not everyone wears
Yeah.
spandex. Sometimes it's denim. Who knows? But
But I dig wrestling for the characters and the stories.
Yeah.
And the in-ring stuff, I can enjoy it. But
Yeah.
it's second to everything else.
yeah,
And a lot of bookers here in Sydney don't get that.
yeah, fair enough.
Not that I want to give away my secrets box. I
Don't do that.
was about to say Dance and Dave, but
Unless
that's
it's to
him.
me. Give your secrets away to me. Maybe one day.
We'll talk about it.
Aussie Observer says FWA postponed. Yeah, we touched on that earlier. That banging's really doing my head in. Mr. Hardy Production says Melbourne is getting another bad one.
Cheeky.
Gianna Review says in Queensland, I'd say Nightfall, Pro League One, Wide Bay are the top 3 brands. I think I've never heard of that.
I watched a Nightfall show and it wasn't very good.
Fair enough. David Bullock says 90 memories of those two in Goulburn. I assume that's AWF.
Yeah, he's mentioned AWF in Goulburn before. Like that's when they would have been doing good business.
Yeah.
They dropped off.
Millennial Man says, if I hold a V report with Piers and Mitch, would you come? I would come.
I got no beef with Piers. I mentioned that.
Yeah. It'd be funny though.
He apparently has beef with me according to someone on the NGL.
Yeah.
Like that could be completely false as well.
It could be.
I'm gonna ask you to go through everything.
I'll do some.
Yeah, do some research.
Millennial Man, thoughts on Jessica Troy as PWA champion? I'm glad you asked this because this was on the agenda and I completely forgot about it.
All right, what are your thoughts, Box?
My thoughts. I have, again, I keep saying this and it's very diplomatic. I haven't seen much Jessica Troy matches.
She's good. She's very good.
Now, if we talk about the believability of wrestling, right, and we talk about the storytelling and all that sort of stuff, right, and we've seen it before. We've seen, major underdog stories like I can't see Jessica Troy beating Ricky South in terms of believability. That's my personal opinion. I'm going to get heat for that.
Don't look to me, Chief.
I'm going to get heat for that.
I'm passing on this one.
But then again, you've copped a lot of heat already, so I'm happy to take some heat here. Me, 6 months into the business.
See, a lot of people would like this would be the argument to play devil's advocate here, not
Yeah.
saying I agree or disagree with you.
Yeah.
They'd say, well, what about Rey Mysterio? He's 5'5" and he beat the Big Show.
Yeah, no, of course, right? But I don't know. I can't. I don't know what it is. It's just it doesn't sit right with me.
All right, there you go. Box doesn't sit right with Box, and I'm not making comments.
Yeah.
Because God knows I don't need the heat.
Which pretty much says all that needs to be
No,
said.
no comment.
I blame the people who just want good wrestling over the angles. Yeah. Fair enough. Or
No, it's like some people like vanilla, some people like chocolate,
Yeah.
That
Good friend of
old
ours
saying.
said that. It's whatever floats your boat, I guess. And a lot of people.
I think at All Star we offer both. Like you'll usually get an undercard match with no story to it, and it'll be a good match. Like last show, Aries and Shep Alexander, they had a great match for the Eastern States title.
Yeah.
And that was just a great wrestling match. But then you go into the later card, you had what did we have? It's been so long.
Keegan and Cruz.
Keegan and Cruz, they had a feud going in. Orlando and Wes, they had a feud going in.
See, but there's a difference between a straight up wrestling match and a difference between and like spot fests. Stuff like
There's a new face coming in.
Wow.
Who is
the
it?
new face has brought a guest.
It's a very mysterious man.
Anyway,
it's one of our sponsors, by the way.
It is. It's one of our sponsors and his brand new puppy.
All right, shut the door behind you guys.
Yeah, shut the door in the middle.
Thank you.
People won't take it serious.
Well, this is a training center first and foremost, Box.
It is. I think. Yeah, like you look at matches like, what was it? Orange Cassidy and Penta, for example. Or I think it was Ray Phoenix versus maybe Nick Jackson. And there was no storytelling, but it wasn't like a straight up wrestling match. It was just move after move after move after move.
Video game wrestling.
Video game wrestling. That's the
which we sometimes play at training here.
Yeah. That's much more fun.
It is.
Yeah. Straight up wrestling matches, I like them when they're done right. And I guess people will. It's subjective, right? When someone says when it's done right, that's subjective in the sense that everyone enjoys different stuff. But
Yeah.
that's just my personal opinion.
Let's fly through these comments box because we've only got like 10 minutes left. Time has flown.
Flying out. Ring announcer Phil. Jessica Troy recently lost a tag team match to Cassie Lee at WCW. WSW. So I feel that. I think if it's an over 18 show, it is, but I can see why people don't do intergender on all ages. Let's just touch on that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the concern regarding intergender matches is that kids that watch it will think, oh, it's okay to hit girls or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That's the general concern. I don't know. Like, when I look at intergender matches, I always go back to the likes of China, right? Who won the Intercontinental? The Intercontinental title? Is that the one that China won?
She won the Intercontinental.
Yeah, but that was believable because look at China. She was badass.
6'2" and jacked, and yeah.
I don't know. And it's not that I'm against intergender wrestling at all. That's not what I'm saying.
See, now I'll be honest, I don't like intergender wrestling, but a lot of people go, oh, we should ban it. I don't agree with banning it because there are people that like to partake in it and they like to watch it and they enjoy it. So while I'm not particularly huge on it, I would never say ban it.
Like, personally, we spoke about this in our group chat. Tessa Blanchard versus Brian Cage.
Yeah.
Right? That's when Tessa won the Impact title. Now, you look at Brian Cage, who's one of the most muscular men you'll ever see in your life.
Not as muscular as Dancing Dave.
No, but how
he likes that.
But how can anyone look at that and take Tessa Blanchard beating him clean seriously?
I've never seen the match, so I can't comment.
And like Jessica Troy and Ricky South, right? They could have done that in a way that made it believable. But I don't look at Jessica Troy putting Ricky South in an armbar. I don't like.
You're saying you haven't seen it, so they could have done it in a way that's believable.
No, I did watch the finish.
Oh, you watched it?
I watched the finish.
I haven't seen it.
The finish was he tapped out to the armbar.
Okay.
And I know her whole thing is just the arm collector, and that's a big move. But like, if Jessica Troy puts even if I put that armbar in Ricky South, he's not tapping out.
Yeah, but look at you, Box. Jessica Troy is more muscular and stronger than you.
Yeah, probably. If Dancing Dave put that armbar on Ricky South, I don't think he'd have to out.
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, well, you could compare it to, say, Shazza McKenzie or another women's wrestler. Right? Does Ricky South, in all believability, tap out?
Don't know.
No, maybe
too much heat for me, Chief. No comment.
Like, what if they did it what if she rolls him up? Shock factor.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. I don't know. It's different.
Box is booking today.
I learned from the best. Mr. Hardy Production says, "What is your favorite Subway?" I don't eat Subway. Next question.
I like the wrap.
Ring announcer Phil. Yes, Millennial Man. They do. Sadly, I was intoxicated and didn't want to share the story. They asked when they call me live on podcast. To be honest, I backed out on the details to protect the former friend. This was Millennial Man saying, "Do you take live calls?" Depends who they're from, Chief. I have ignored many a call on the podcast before. Ring announcer Phil. Anyway, yeah, I regretted sharing that story behind the scenes on a car trip.
What story? Oh.
The story. Speaking of intergender, there's thoughts. Rhea Ripley is going to screw Damian Priest. Ow, that didn't hurt. And cash in on a men's title. Thoughts? I don't like that.
I can't comment. I don't know enough about Rhea to.
If done right, I think that'd be great. I would love a Rhea Ripley, say, IC title run. I don't see her beating Gunther though. Maybe beating Rey Mysterio for the US title. That could happen. Shaking a hand.
Little dog ball.
But right in front of the camera. Yeah, Rhea Ripley winning a men's title. Depends what title it is.
It always depends on how it's done as well.
Yeah. I think Priest deserves a world title run, but that's just my personal opinion.
Don't know him.
So you talk a lot about Deepak. How would you book him to be a main eventer, smart guy?
I wouldn't.
I think he's talking to me.
Oh, you. Okay. Good answer.
Aussie Observer says, lol, they think I'm Deepak. Are you Deepak? Too sweet, matey. Too. Rhea could be done if done right. Exactly. I think so too. I don't think she could realistically win a world title. I guess depends who it's against.
I know that Rhea is so over and she's huge, so it could work. But they didn't do that with Ronda Rousey, did they?
No, but she's
you would think if she was she's not huge physically, but former MMA star who was undefeated for however long.
Yeah. Guys, excuse me. Please. We're almost done here. Thank you.
It's like a library.
It is.
What else have we got, Box? The students are getting antsy.
That's pretty much it. We're at an hour 25. I think we should wrap it up here.
Here comes Dancing Dave.
Mr. Hardy Productions. He's pointed out a question. Can we ever see Dave and Box with the tag title?
No.
Didn't think so. All right, guys.
Easy answer.
Let's wrap it up here. It's been an eventful episode, and I need to use the bathroom. So, thank you for watching episode 13. Thank you for watching episode 13 of the Mitch and Alex Show.
What did he say? You're the pooper.
Serial pooper.
Look, there's another question. We don't stop till the
The
questions
two which
stop.
we call home. Dave has a chance at the tag titles if he was with Aries or Red Scorpion.
True.
He's Mitch. I'm Alex. This was episode 13. Make sure
Plug November 18th, Box.
I'm getting there.
Get
Chick.
there. You're about to hit the exit. I can see the
Oh,
little
what?
cursor. Nah.
Anyway, November 18th.
Wrestling go as well, yeah.
November 18th, the iconic Pad Star SL Club.
Yep,
there can
yep,
only
yep.
be one main event. Orlando Jordan, Keegan Brittle,
There can only be one champion, Box.
Yep. And the card also includes Jack Delahan versus J Law
Mhm.
and Tony Cruz versus Aries for the Eastern States
Don't
title.
forget about Jay Sorbet.
Versus the international. What did you call him? A starlet?
The starlet is a woman.
That's what you called him.
No, I didn't.
Anyway, Reese Alexion is making his Australian debut.
I hope you pronounced that right. I don't know if it's his debut, but
Anyway,
it's his all-star debut.
it's his All-Star debut. Wrestling Go this Sunday
This Sunday.
at the Riverstone Schofields Memorial Club. I
Look
believe.
it up on the social medias. I think that's the one, Box, but
Yep.
double check.
Sunday, 12 p.m. I believe.
Dance Dave will be wrestling
The Puppeteer.
in the pre-show match.
Yes.
I don't know if we were meant to announce
That
that.
show also featuring Lee Moreau versus Otis in the main event, two of All Stars guys.
There'll also be an all-star referee in the house.
There will be. So you'd be there.
Be there.
But also,
Did we mention Aries versus Keegan?
No, we didn't.
That'll be
Aries
there
versus
too.
Keegan also on the show. Look, people have just dropped off. Anyway.
It's because your wrap-up takes 5 minutes, Box.
Well, if you stop cutting me off, I'll get
I
there.
just wanted to make sure you plug. Yeah, don't forget the collector.
November 26th, the Penrith Regional Sports Centre.
Dance and Dave will be there.
I'll be there. You'll be there.
People
We'll be there.
Yeah, look, it'll be the Mitch and Alex show live and in person.
Yeah, Jimmy Poulton might not be there.
Jimmy Poulton, he's tested my patience.
All right. Make sure you
Don't forget the sponsor box.
I already plugged the sponsor.
Did you? Oh, I forgot about it.
Anyway, make sure you
What
like
an
the video,
episode, Box.
comment, subscribe.
Let's go another hour.
Let's not do it. And we will see you next Wednesday.
Possibly.
Hopefully. Not happening.
Dance and
guys-
Dave wants the Saturday pod. The people like the Wednesday.
And lastly, don't forget, on our social media, we are doing a giveaway. 2 ringside tickets. I swindled the sponsor to move up from general admission.
Wow.
2 ringside tickets.
Give him another plug.
So
Box.
there can only be one. Thank you to our legendary sponsor, Bulldog Glass and Property Maintenance.
You
That's
can
not
meet
happening.
Dance and Dave if you'd like.
You can meet us and get a photo.
I don't take
He
photos.
doesn't take. Oh, you charge us $50. a
I'll
photo.
sign something.
Yeah. Yeah. So 2 ringside seats. So there can only be one at the iconic Pad Star SL Club, November 18th. Be there, and we will see you next week. Maybe.
Let's do another hour, Box.
Let's do it. Abrupt end. See you later.
That wasn't very abrupt.